Maranatha, my PBC family and friends. I just have the verse I want to read to us, and just come back and talk about this to us here in a second here. So, in Ecclesiastes chapter 7, actually, I want to read a couple verses here. Two different thoughts really I have for you guys today. One of like kind of a, oh my goodness, you're right, Lord, and then another one of, what is the matter with me, right? Kind of moments. Anyway, Ecclesiastes chapter 7, I want to pick it up at verse 8. It says, better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof, and the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. I love that. The Lord is like, better to be patient and wait, and you'll see the end, and the end of the matter is going to be better. Why? Because we know at the end of all things, God shows and reveals all those things to us. But then he says this, then in verse 9, right after that, he says, be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry, for anger resteth in the bosoms of fools. Something I think we can take to heart right now as we think about this idea of being patient, patiently waiting on the Lord to see what he's going to do. See what he's going to. Don't get angry at the drop of a hat on everything that comes down the pike and every change we see, be it geopolitically or be it just in our own lives or our own hearts or whatever the case may be, that we just be patient and wait and see what God's going to do in the end of it all. But then this is such an amazing verse, verse 10 to me. Say not thou, what is the cause that the former days were better than these? For thou dost not inquire wisely concerning this. Have you ever done that? Looked back at your life and said, oh, it's so much easier when. It was so much better when. Things were nicer back then. You're not inquiring wisely. You don't remember the real hardship of what it really was. Or perhaps you were too young to remember the hardship of what it really was. I think about that. We look at some of the days of yore, for lack of better terms, gone past. We think about how peaceful and how calm and how great that time would have been. But then you forget about the conveniences that we experience nowadays and the blessings that we have and some of the things that we have nowadays. Sometimes we look back on those things and we think, I did this in a sermon not so long ago. I talked about the old phones that you had to be attached to the wall. But you know what? There was a problem with those too. You weren't able to get a hold of people in emergencies necessarily. Sometimes it took days to get a hold of somebody, and not because of any other reason, the fact that nobody was around to answer the phone. And so I just think about that as we think about these things, guys. Let's be patient and just wait and see what God's going to do. Because we know that the good is yet to come. The best is yet to come. So we can wait patiently on God and rejoice in every situation and everything. So if that encourages your day, as always, guys, remember that I love you, we love you, God loves you, and God's got this.